God, for the duality conscious mind is too much to accept. Although the whole environment, the scene, including the actors and the director, is all but one, God Self. For the duality conscious mind, everything seems separate. But that is only a perception. That is not the reality or the totality of all as it actually is. Just like the actors in the movie have a role to play, however, there is a director who made the script, directed the actors to make sure it all goes as it is supposed to. And when the movie is played, it is all but one movie, all but one experience. So the same is here in the universe, that each and every one seemingly perceives themselves to be individuals, to have their own separate existence in the surrounding scene of environment. However, as a whole, it is but one divine self that has created the whole scene, the environment. It created the rules by which everything will be governed. It has filled up the space with all souls, living beings, humans and animals, nature, everything organic and inorganic. But the creation has come forth from the same source. It is the same source. Even the duality, conscious mind, is also made of the source. Even the perception that I am separate is also made of light. Thus, when we pay attention to the duality conscious mind, to the separate perception, we realize that you are that one which is aware of the duality conscious mind, which is aware of perception of separateness. However, most people cannot stay long in that one reality because the duality conscious mind has too much power. It has been fed, nurtured, and supported, programmed and reprogrammed consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously for decades. It's a very strong mechanism, the duality conscious mind. However, when you stop feeding the animals outside your house, it is only a question of time then that the animals will look for other sources of food. So, the same way, when you stop peddling your mind, it still has a momentum, but then it's only a question of time until it will stop its mechanisms. The duality conscious mind is a mechanism that you can become aware of, that you can closely observe how it functions. And as you grow in strength of observation of these deeper mechanisms, you gain more clarity, more capacity, more strength to abide in the one reality. Someone asked today, how do I tackle the strong emotions? How do I tackle challenging life situations, because everyone wants to make their life better. The mind is always looking for the next moment to make it better. It is an inbuilt mechanism to strive to make one's life better, to be happier. However, happiness, making things better, is not freedom. Happiness one moment is replaced by unhappiness, by sorrow, anger, or pain. So, thus, a yogi observes closely the nature of experiences of happiness and unhappiness and arrives to a conclusion that there must be something deeper, that the gross experiences are subject to change, and the subtle reveals itself as more stable, more stronger foundation for the one reality. The gross is easy to be seen and interacted with. The whole Western science is based on gross experiences, for it always believes in something that it can prove it, especially if one can see it, touch it, and taste it, then it means it's real. However, gross is the final product of creation. It comes from the subtle. The subtle reveals its strength. The subtle reveals its power by abiding in the subtle. For example, by observing the nature of changing phenomena, one can gain strength in the state of beingness, in the state of I am. Furthermore, a yogi inquires to go deeper that even that I am is individual. And there are many I ams, as many people. And thus, if I am aware of the I am, I must be something even more fundamental, even less individual, thus arriving to a conclusion of the self, of the one reality in which all I ams are and in which all changes are occurring, good and bad. So freedom is not found by next moment, by improving one's life as a main goal, hoping that things will be better tomorrow. This is the river of life. One must ascend vertically from the river of life up to more foundational reality, essentially seeing that it is a duality conscious mind which assumes everything as separate. But in reality, there is only one. Even though your experience seemingly gives you a feeling that you are this and that is that, you may allow this experience to play, but it doesn't mean that you have to believe in it, that you have to actually be the object of this or that. Just like the actors know their true identity, even though they're acting a particular role, they know that this is a theater and this is the role to play. Others have their roles to play. However, one fundamentally knows their true identity. So, on a larger scene of life, the world, reality, it is equally so that there is only one indifferent reality, only projecting itself forward as a divine play, reaching such an extent that it has manifested the light and the dark, the good and the bad, me and you. So, this is how great, complex, and advanced is the play, the divine play. And as one realizes the nature of the world, oneself, and environment, one ascends vertically back into more and more fundamental existence, which is Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Knowing that consciousness, God is omni, in other words, is everything. We can derive understanding that God or consciousness is omnisentient. Since it is everything, then it means it knows everything. And thus we can derive also that God, consciousness, is omnipotent, all powerful. The true power is in self realization. The creation is already created. This realm of matter is the final product, the densest part of creation. And the true power is not in trying to manipulate matter in one way or another, although we do it every day by cooking our food. We put the products together, we cook them, and it becomes a dish that we eat. It is a matter manipulation. In all various ways and forms, we do that and we consider that as normal. But the true power of God is in realization oneself as the pure consciousness. Why? Because everything is God. And by ascending vertically upwards, or equally so inwardly deep, or as close to the self, to the beloved, if we speak of bhakti path, to be completely one as the beloved self. So, whichever way we look, it is the ascension for the sake of practicality, the vertical ascension back to your original self, back to realization of this pure consciousness as God, as everything. And thus, that is the true power. That is the true omnisentience. That is the true omnipotence and omnipresence. From that perspective, again, it is realized that everything is God, but God is manifesting also through this form that is speaking to you right now. And this form, from a relative perspective, of course, it has its shape and form and limitations. However, we are not trying to change the laws of nature. We're not looking for miracles which are not yet understood, or the capacity, technological or otherwise, is not achieved. The true power is in the self realization. The true omnipresence is seeing oneself as the light of consciousness present everywhere. The omnisentience, the knowledge of all, is the knowledge of, called Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman, the knowledge of creation, the knowledge of all that is as a foundational essence. And the omnipotence is not in manipulation of matter via limited form, but the omnipotence is the abidance as the light of pure consciousness. And knowing that all is as it's supposed to be, the same way as the film director is most happy when all the actors know exactly what to do and they play the roles very well, and the film director doesn't even need to cut and redo the scene again. So, when everything is running smoothly and properly, the director is invisible. The director is not even seen. So, the same way God is behind everything, it is everything, it is here and now. The only problem for humanity is forgetfulness, is the conditioned duality conscious mind, which is deeply ingrained, but not a problem of animals, of nature, of planet Earth, of the fish and the birds, and the trees, of the stars and galaxies. So this problem is only for a specific species called humanity. However, in the large scheme of creation, that is only a tiny blip on the universal level, which also gives a unique experience. So it has its place and purpose. For some reason, it was manifested. For some reason, it is. And of course, if one is within that framework of duality conscious mind, one experiences the conditioned challenges. However, as one ascends upwards or inwards or closewards, one realizes the grand scheme of things. One realizes the true freedom, not in relation to being immortal, for even if you could live 1,000 years, but still be in duality-based consciousness, the 1,000 years would simply prolong one's pain and sorrow. So neither freedom is in longevity of life, nor in traveling among the stars, nor in making one's life happier or trying to improve things. The freedom is much more than all of it. The freedom is not causal. The freedom is not subject to change. Every one of you has potential for that freedom. In other words, you are that freedom. And that is the most beautiful gift in each human being. So, this is how we ascend from the gross to the subtle, that we eventually blossom as the full consciousness. We essentially become the sahaja self, the natural self. We essentially become this divine light, aware of the divine plan, of the divine play of life, the universe, existence. And this is the greatest opportunity of this lifetime. But no worries, there is also next lifetime if one doesn't catch up to that. Sooner or later, everyone will come back to this. For that is what you truly are, who you truly are.